Alright, welcome back everyone. It is now October 12th of 2023, and given that Warner Brothers is anticipating a lot of backlash from DC fans about what's about to happen with the Aquaman sequel, The Lost Kingdom, starring Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, and, well, unfortunately still Amber Heard to this day, even though her role got greatly reduced once again. There's a lot of things going on with this whole DC drama, and everything happening with Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, director James Wan, and let's not forget about Jason Momoa himself. Now, one thing about Amber Heard, and I've said this countless times, is that she's very egotistically driven as a person and as an actress, and really is a pathological liar, mind you. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new, and like this video to see future updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about the whole Amber Heard situation and everything happening over at Warner Brothers has a lot to do with the test screening that failed. We talked about how it was so bad to the point that screeners were walking out from that actual screening of Aquaman, and a lot of it had to do with several other factors, but one of the big ones had to do with the cringeworthy scenes of Mira, portrayed by Amber Heard, in this movie, and as a result, a lot of those scenes got cut and axed by WB and director James Wan, ordering the editors to, pretty much X that out of the final cut of the movie. But this is where matters get even worse about what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp, of course, revolving around all of the cast and the crew of Aquaman 2. Let's discuss. Now, with actress Amber Heard currently involved in much drama surrounding WB and the Aquaman sequel, one major development has to do with Heard and actor Johnny Depp. A significant update surrounding the Aquaman drama is that one of the shocking discoveries is that Amber Heard actually trash-talked Johnny Depp numerous times on the set of Aquaman 2 and is already preparing another statement to be released about Johnny after the SAG strike ends. It turns out that Jason Momoa made jokes on set about the Amber versus Johnny trial to the point that it did create drama for director James Wan to deal with, to distance Heard and Jason at different points in time. One of the bombshells is that there were multiple instances where some members of the cast and the crew were actually talked down by Amber Heard for judging her about Johnny Depp. She even recently heavily criticized director James Wan and the heads at WB for reducing her role as Mira in Aquaman 2 by cutting her already minimal role to begin with down to a bare minimum. Amber Heard reportedly trash-talked Johnny Depp multiple times just recently, well after the failed test screening of Aquaman 2, blaming false claims about what she did to Johnny as the cause of her role getting minimized. Now, let me say one thing about this whole scenario. Now, there's been a lot of things happening with this DC drama. There's been a lot of reports that Jason Momoa was drunk on set multiple times and how that played a big role into this disconnect between Momoa and Heard, and how Johnny Depp was always getting trash-talked by Amber herself. Now, the fact that this DC drama is so bad to the point that they are still going through with releasing this movie in theaters is just insanity. I'm not quite sure why WB is going through with this. If I were them, you might as well put it direct to video or direct to streaming on HBO Max, whatever you have to do to avoid it from going in theaters. They're going to lose a lot of money by putting this in thousands of theaters where practically no one's going to even show up. I know a lot of people are boycotting this film just because Amber's in it, even if it's a small amount of screen time. We already talked about this. She already had a minimal role to begin with, but based on the test screenings and her attitude about Johnny Depp and trash-talking him as of late as well, due to the test screening leaks and all that, that actually had a lot to do with their reasoning of cutting her role down even further. So now she has an even smaller role in Aquaman 2. Now, the bigger problem at play here has a lot to do with the fact that Amber Heard really seems like she deserves everything in the world. This is the fact that, she believes that she deserves these studios to accept her or to reinstate her roles that she got fired from, including WB. In fact, we talked about this a couple days ago, is that she was supposed to have a multi-movie deal with Warner Brothers that was going to be not associated with Aquaman or anything DC related. She was going to have upcoming movies and getting bigger roles and having important roles in there that would be established. Whether they be a part of major franchises or not, that's pretty much unknown at this point in time, but they were going to be big budget films nonetheless, and that all fell apart. Now, not just that, the DC drama is an ever-developing story that just keeps getting more severe, where there was even a moment just before she got banished that she had multiple arguments with James Wan, and actually went on tirades about how Johnny Depp was a liar and actually ruined her career. All of these arguments ultimately are what really led to her role getting greatly reduced, as it turns out, and also getting banished from the world premiere and press interviews. This is why fans will not see her on camera in the next couple of months by this December at the world premiere, after starting these tirades behind the scenes, both on set when they were filming and recently when they were actually gearing up for the marketing campaign of the film. Another important development is that Heard also had serious arguments with Jason Momoa after filming about his jokes about the Depp trial, and even criticized Depp behind the scenes against Jason. The production of The Lost Kingdom was reportedly production hell for Warner Brothers, and it's only going to get worse with Heard's role still intact, yet also greatly reduced again after the ongoing drama. These tirades about Johnny Depp behind closed doors also caused WB to cancel any kind of major posters or promotional art and merchandise that actually has Mira on it. So all of that has now been axed as well. Any kind of merchandise related to Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, is not going to actually have Mira at the forefront. It's going to instead focus on Orm and Arthur, and that's it. And that just goes to show you how severe this drama really is that is surrounding DC right now. And look, whether you love or hate Blue Beetle, I know it performed terribly at the box office, it's not a good start to the rebooted version of the DC Universe by James Gunn. It really is not. And so, this is a terrible, sad end to the existing DC Universe. And, you know, we all know that Wonder Woman 3 is pretty much dead at this point. First it was actually on and a go. It was greenlit, then it got cancelled. Then Gal Gadot claimed that it was not cancelled. Then she went back and forth saying that they're not quite sure. Now James Gunn is saying it's actually dead and it's not happening. It's always a back and forth scenario with WW3. But what's interesting about this is the fact that we have Amber Heard going the extra mile to really kind of just devalue Johnny Depp as a person and as an actor. Even though the man is staying quiet, he is focusing on his own career in the music industry. He's just doing his own thing because, well, look at what she did to his film career. So he's focusing on music. He's not getting in any, arguments or putting any kind of unnecessary things out there behind the scenes. He's just keeping quiet into himself. And then here you have Amber Heard making such a mess behind the scenes for both the marketing campaign of The Lost Kingdom and what happened on set for Aquaman 2. We'll keep you guys updated as everything moves along, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.